Good morning. I'm Steve Jurrens with your live Northeast Radio SD News for Monday, January 26th, 2025. Your news this hour is brought to you by Watertown Development Company, Watertown's established economic growth and development professionals. Check out the no-cost online courses available to help local entrepreneurs. Learn more at WDCSD.com under the Events tab. The Watertown Development Company equals economic mobility. As an intense Arctic blast settles over the region, AAA South Dakota is urging residents to take immediate precautions to protect their vehicles and homes. Spokesperson Sean Stewart warns that temperature drops of this magnitude historically lead to a surge in emergency calls, citing dead batteries and frozen pipes as the biggest threats. Drivers are advised to test any car battery over 3 years old and to park in a garage when possible to avoid the battery danger zone. For homeowners, AAA recommends keeping thermostats set at least 55 degrees, opening cabinet doors to circulate heat, and letting faucets drip to keep water moving. Stewart emphasizes that acting now isn't optional, it's essential to keeping a breakdown or preventing a home disaster. A crash on Highway 212 Friday evening sent one man to the hospital and left a load of drywall scattered across the roadway. Watertown police say the incident began around 5:12 p.m. near Evolution Power Sports when a light-colored SUV pulled out in front of a westbound Chevy pickup, forcing the 23-year-old driver to swerve. That evasive maneuver pushed the Chevy and its flatbed trailer onto the oncoming lanes, where it collided with a eastbound Ford F-150. The impact sent both trucks into the ditch, and Watertown Fire Rescue transported the 50-year-old driver of the Ford to Prairie Lakes Hospital with non-life-threatening injuries, while the SUV that caused the initial swerve did not crash. Police say the investigation is ongoing. It's going to be a busy February for Watertown community events. Organizers are calling on all local heroes and villains for the 2026 Polar Plunge on February 7th at Lake Compesca. Longtime organizer Steve Jurrens says this year's superhero theme aims to raise funds for Special Olympics South Dakota, which supports 3,000 athletes statewide. Registration begins at 11:30 a.m. at the Sandbar, with the plunge at 2 p.m. Meanwhile, Northern Prairie Arts is launching a creative spring lineup. Their Art Side in the Pub returns February 12th with the theme Taking Flight, and they are offering new classes ranging from AI writing workshops at Lake Area Tech to mixology courses at Dempsey's. The next generation of basketball stars has been named in Watertown. The Knights of Columbus hosted their 2026 free throw championship at the middle school, crowning winners across ages 9 to 14. Standouts include Campbell DeBoer and Nathan Vandersnick in the 9-year-old divisions, Leo Schumacher taking the boys' age 14 title. All winners now advance to the district championship on February 1st. On the ice, the Watertown Lakers are celebrating a surge in growth. Association President Todd Randall credits the Learn to Play initiative for bringing in over 50 new skaters this season by providing free gear and coaching. The Lakers are also launching the Compesca Kraken Summer AAA team and preparing to host the Chris Reeve Memorial Tournament this last weekend. District 4 Representative Dylan Jordan says he is pulling his proposed fireworks legislation to avoid hitting consumers with hidden costs. It is an update on the 2026 session. Jordan explained he withdrew House Bill 1070, which would have expanded fireworks sales dates, after discovering it would inadvertently trigger a law requiring vendors to pay $1,000 special license fee. Jordan stated he refuses to sponsor any bill that increases costs for residents. The representative is now shifting focus to agricultural education. After initially failing by 2 votes, that measure is now for consideration. South Dakota officials are moving forward with Senate Bill 216, a new law aimed at cutting property taxes for homeowners. The Department of Revenue says the plan uses three main tools: a 3% cap on the total value of owner occupied homes in a county, limits on local budget growth, and an expanded assessment freeze for seniors and those with disabilities. While individual home values may still fluctuate based on the market, the goal is to keep county-wide totals in check. The new law also imposes a strict 3% cap on the annual tax request growth for local governments, targeting high growth areas. Updated applications for the assessment freeze program are available now at county courthouses. South Dakota Senator Mike Rounds has introduced federal legislation seeking to extend constitutional protections to unborn children. The Life at Conception Act would define personhood under the 14th Amendment as starting at the moment of conception, a move Rounds says recognizes the right to life at all stages. He is joined by 11 Senate co-sponsors, while a companion bill has been introduced in the House by Representative Eric Burleson. Their proposal has drawn support from advocacy groups like the National Pro-Life Alliance, who argue it closes legal loopholes regarding personhood. If passed, the act would provide a statutory basis for fetal rights under the Constitution. Your news this hour was brought to you by Watertown Development Company, Watertown's established economic growth and development professionals. Check out the no-cost online courses available to help local entrepreneurs. Learn more at wdcsd.com under the Events tab. The Watertown Development Company equals economic mobility. Visit northeastradiosd.com for full news stories. Like, subscribe, and review our daily Northeast Radio SD News recap podcasts and uploaded live interviews. Sign up for our newsletter, arriving every morning at 6 a.m. With today's local and state news from Northeast Radio SD Studios in Watertown, South Dakota, I'm Steve Jurrens.